PFT Live presented by Accenture, Monday edition, December 30. The Buffalo Bills hosted the New York Jets. It was a rematch of the Monday night game that was the first game of Jeff Ulbricht's time as the interim head coach. And there was an interesting nugget yesterday in a notes column from Rich Cimini of ESPN.com.
Yeah.
Jeff Ulbricht leading the Jets.
Yeah.
2-5 with a lead in the fourth quarter.
Right.
2-5. Robert Saleh was 20-3 with a lead in the fourth quarter.
Jeez.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, the firing of Robert Saleh was ridiculous.
That's where it all went sideways.
It all went sideways.
And you know what happened after that? Woody, I believe, from things I've heard, per sources,
right.
Woody started to meddle more and more and more and more, and it got worse and worse and worse, and now the team's broken. And yesterday was the worst of all.
Yeah.
40-14, it wasn't that close.
No, what's crazy too? I mean, you saw the game started. They moved the ball on Buffalo. I mean, they kind of moved the ball the whole game, just like they did last week against the Rams. But they just always find a way to F it up. Excuse me. Sorry, London. I know, but I guess you're right. But yeah, they F it up. And then also going, like the Jets the last few weeks, it's like they've gone, the hell with managing a game. We're just going to go for it. And it's like, we're just never going to kick a field goal. We're never going to do anything. But yeah, they start the game off. They drive right down the field. They go for it on 4th and 1 around the 15-yard line. They don't get it. Buffalo and Josh Allen make some amazing plays. They go right down the field and drive again. And then Aaron Rodgers, tries to throw one of his 3-foot passes there to Davante Adams in the flat, and everybody's ready for it, and they tip the ball up in the air, interception, and it kind of felt like that was the start of the breaking of the Jets' back, and then they got backed up, and then the safety came, and then the dam broke like you talked about, and then it was just the Bills' free fall from there on out, and it becomes a Josh Allen magic show and everybody else along with it.
Sauce Gardner, who didn't play yesterday due to injury, said, if you ask me, it means it's the end of the season. Obviously, not going to the playoffs. Some people might be checked out. That's just me going off speculation. Well, he's in a better position to speculate than anyone because he's around.
Yeah.
He can tell who's in and who's out. And that's one of the things we've been talking about. It's harder to pick games when you get so many teams that are done because who's going to bring it and who's not going to bring it.
Right.
And the Jets aren't bringing it. And the Jets have issues. And I said last night, because we did a thing on the Football Night in America podcast about the New Year's resolutions that teams should have, I said that the Jets should just sever ties with Aaron Rodgers now. He clearly doesn't want to be there. He's been needling Woody Johnson for weeks now. Just make it clear you're done. It's over. We're releasing you the first day of the waivers period after the Super Bowl. That's it. It's done. And everybody knows. And it won't be Rodgers being able to keep doing his passive-aggressive bullshit. Sorry, Archie. On McAfee's show with, no, he don't want to be there.
Right.
He wants them to make the first move, and he wants them to say, we don't want you, so then he's the victim again, as he always is. He's the victim. They've wronged me, and I'm going to go to another team, and I'm going to do well, and yada, yada. Just rip the Band-Aid off. It's over. You got Garrett Wilson reportedly wanting out if Rodgers is back. What does that tell you about Rodgers? Remember how they were fawning all over him when he got there?
Right.
Yeah, once you get to know the guy, it's a little bit different when he comes breezing in the first time as the guy who's going to be the savior.
Yeah, well, I mean, Garrett Wilson probably feels a little bit like the forgotten man where,
Still, his numbers are the same.
Yeah.
His numbers are the same. Now, Lester quarterbacks his first 2 years.
Yeah,
but his numbers track his first 2 years. They should have been off the charts with Rodgers as his quarterback.
Well, yeah, I mean, it seems like, he's probably like, man, I got to be in this trust tree like to such a degree with Aaron Rodgers.
Isn't that weird?
And yeah,
like,
and then he goes,
he's a talented player. Throw him the freaking football.
I know. Well,
who cares if he's not your buddy?
Rodgers out of the point of his career where he wants every route's got to be perfect and you got to do it this way and all of that stuff. And of course, Garrett Wilson's young and doesn't know all the things Aaron Rodgers once done a certain way.
It's old and
then
it's
Davante
tired.
Adams gets there and he kind of takes over I'm going to look for you every time now. And Garrett Wilson's like, what the F is going on? Like, I'm the guy here. I'm the future for the organization. So, yeah, they got to be careful. When Garrett Wilson was making comments earlier this week when he was like the good days of Mike LaFleur being the offensive coordinator and that, like he made some comments along those lines, right? I'm paraphrasing. I know that. That was like shocking. That's telling you that he enjoyed his time with the dysfunctional other Jets the other years more than he did this year with Aaron Rodgers and everything that went on there.
Well, because it's still dysfunctional.
Yeah.
And regardless of why and how, and if it's meddling by Woody or whatever the case may be. There's only so much of the crap you can listen to from Rodgers, especially he goes on McAfee every week, then he has his midweek press conference. And
is he going to ask McAfee if he's vaccinated this week? Because he needs to ask him. Because I need to know. Because then the interviews aren't real. They're not real if he's not vaccinated.
That's not what his point is. If you're going to criticize me, you have to disclose your vaccination status before you criticize me, so we'll know that you aren't just basically doing the bidding of Big Pharma.
I mean, come on.
Like, he believes that no one could have an organic opinion, untainted by corruption, about him that would be negative. That if you have anything bad to say about me, it's only because you're bought and paid for by Big Pharma. And I still haven't gotten my check, Aaron. I don't know. Maybe it's going to come to me after you retire. Maybe they're really trying to cover this up. Maybe they're just going to show up at my house with a Ferrari, and it's going to be painted like it's going to have the Pfizer logo on it. I don't know. Funny. But yeah, I made that joke yesterday on Twitter, and some people got it and some didn't. I said, did the referee announce his vax status before penalizing Rodgers for unnecessary roughness? Because he kind of laughed when he did it. Because it's the first time in his career he's been penalized for unnecessary roughness. He took a hit at a guy out of bounds after the interception.
Interception down the middle. Right. It was a bad look altogether yesterday.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.